So Floyd Foreign Only loses his YouTube channel and all of the channels tied to him. And I just want to know, what do you guys think about this and how do you think it's going to play out? It's your boy Mosa from the Homies Hub. You guys already know what you got to do. Like, subscribe, and comment. Make sure that you guys join the Homies Hub Discord, a community for men to share their experiences. You guys already know that we have the Homies app. It's going to be our social media platform for our community. I'm giving out 5 free memberships every single week. So if you guys would like to get some more behind the scenes content and special placement on the app, sign up to be a bug tester. I would greatly appreciate it. Let's get it. All right. So first of all, I think the deletions of all of his channels are a little bit insane, right? And I say that to say this. Any one of his channels that have been tied into whatever he's being accused of, I can understand that. But I'm really trying to understand how we are making the correlation. Now, some people are saying his channels were deleted because they don't want him figuring out a way to fund his defense to ultimately get the prosecution. This is alleged, right? We don't actually know this. But I think if he is using a particular channel to help him empower whatever it was he was doing when he went to Brazil, yeah, get rid of his channel. You know what I'm saying? Like, delete it. There's no conversation about it. But what I think is actually going on out here is YouTube is working directly with international groups in some of these countries to make sure that YouTube's platform is not being used in any way, shape, or form to empower these creators to wreak havoc in their countries by doing criminal activity, abuse, or disturbing the peace. So for this reason, Foreign Only, the channel, had to completely come down, and that's it. Now, he has some subsequent channels. As you guys know, he has a police audit channel in which he basically audits, some of these like police calls, shows up and talks about rights and things like that. You guys know. If you don't know, then do some research. It's going to be hard to find it now because all those channels are gone. But I heard he was making some pretty good money on those platforms, and they probably could have greatly helped him out there in Brazil. However, if what he's being accused of is true, I don't necessarily know how good that money was if he had to resort to what he was doing for money, and I think it's actually pretty much a shame. Now, I think this should open a realm of thought for people, right? Not to talk about whether Floyd is innocent or guilty. That's not really the focus of this conversation, but it should really just focus on your YouTube channel can now be analyzed for criminal activity or whatever it is that you might have going on, and they may use that to ultimately decide to get you off of the platform. If there is a complaint about you or a legal process going on about you and it's tied to your YouTube, you might see yourself lose your channel. Now, my problem and my gripe with this is because we feel as a colored community that YouTube is playing favoritism, right? We just had Vitali, who was literally imprisoned for 9 months in the Philippines for actually committing crimes for the sake of his YouTube channel and his content, still have his channel up now, right? And we also see this with Pro-Life Traveler, who has officially been deported and labeled a persona non grata, meaning that he didn't actually break any laws, but he is not an ideal person they would want in the Philippines for the sake of the fact that he is filming, right? So they got rid of him, but both of these people still have their channels. And I just think it's interesting because the only people that I have seen have their channels deleted or demonetized as of this month are Black content creators. Now, if you ask me at this point in time, I am not going to say that there is non-bias going on here. I do believe there's bias, right? I can't say for sure, so YouTube, please don't ban me for stating my opinion, but I definitely think that there is some bias going on here because it doesn't necessarily make sense and there is no explanation exactly, right? Everything's being very ambiguous, nothing's straightforward, nothing's clear cut, concrete, breaking things down into detail. It's kind of just, nope, you're gone, nope, you're gone, right? Now, however, if your channel is indirectly being used to harm or exploit children, I really do not support that at all, right? And like I said, because I'm still waiting for Floyd's case to play out and see what they have against him and see what he pleads, once he gets to court, I'm not going to speak on whether he is guilty or not guilty. But I also think YouTube should kind of hold the same exact sentiments, right? Where if you're going to allow someone who was already convicted to keep their channel, someone who is still going through the court process should also keep their channel until they're found guilty. And if their YouTube has any correlation or causation into whatever they are found guilty of, then by all means, clip the channel. I think that makes sense. It saves everybody in the mix. But I think YouTube trying to avoid potential lawsuits might start opening up the door for lawsuits or class action lawsuits, even if it's not one particular person that can sue. A bunch of creators who might have just had their channels clipped like this could possibly come together and pull a class action lawsuit. And maybe YouTube doesn't care. They're probably running the numbers as to what's more important, trying to appease governments that don't like particular YouTubers or trying to appease YouTubers. And I think at the end of the day, this is coming down to the money. It's coming down to the moolah. We got to make that decision as to who we're going to keep on this platform based on where the money's coming in, right? Are you guys going to block YouTube from being viewed in these other countries where we can get AdSense from your people because of what a couple YouTubers are doing? Or do we just clip YouTubers completely off the platform, let them be angry, depressed, try to sue, lose, and then we're still up and running? And I think what it comes down to is YouTube just feels like it's not worth the headache to keep certain YouTubers on their platform. As a travel content creator, whatever content you create in these countries, as an American citizen or wherever you're from that's outside of these countries, you ultimately are going to face more scrutiny, and that's just what it is, right? There's a lot of people arguing about Pro-Life Traveler and him being targeted by the Philippines because he's uploading content, but at the end of the day, he pissed off somebody who went out of their way to make sure that he would be banned out of the country. However, that didn't get him banned off YouTube. So I just think it's interesting. Let me know what you guys think. You guys state your opinions. And please, guys, when you guys hear my commentary, take it as just my commentary. I don't want to see any of you guys in the comments trying to argue that I am supporting anybody on here. I really am not. We're just speculating the process as to how YouTube decides to get rid of people's channels. With that being said, it's your boy. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Like, comment, and subscribe. Peace.